So the RegTech sector, it's certainly very exciting, but it's also very challenging. And we see this from our point of view because we had to structure our company in a very new fashion way. Because we are using tokens as a security, and we were certainly one of the very first in the UK. What we found is that HMRC and then the FCA is still very much trying to leave the opportunity to everybody to do things, but so that they can't kill innovation. But at the same time, we're seeing the banks on the other side who are asking for more regulation, because so long as it's not regulated, they can't really start to play with cryptocurrencies and other digital assets. So this is a very exciting space because there's a lot of new startups out there, new opportunities. We believe that token and ownership will change. The way we actually own things is going to change over the next 5 to 10 years. So we're going to have a change of ownership in property, in IP, and so on and so forth. And certainly the tokens can change a lot of that ownership and create more liquidity in the markets for the benefit of everybody. So it is exciting, but it's also very challenging because at the same time, startups like ourselves can't afford to pay the regulators, can't afford to pay the top lawyers in town, certainly because we have very, very little resources, and yet we've got to create a business model that works and that is going to create value to the ecosystem and to create value to our customers. So we have passported our FCA license across Europe, but we do know that we can't go to the US, for instance, although it's a big market, and although we know that there's lots of capital flowing into startups. So there's some limitations there as well for ourselves. So we're focusing on Europe and Asia for now. So blockchain is essentially a database which follows a protocol, right? There's nothing more robust than a blockchain when they are obviously well implemented. There's a lot of security reasons and security tests to be done, but the immutability of the data and the scrutiny that the blockchain elements brings certainly the highest level of control possible. So we invest in FinTech and other industries, but I think it's certainly better to talk about FinTech and RegTech in that space. The technology we're going to be looking at to solve the biggest challenges for the finance industry, financial services, and regulation. It's certainly artificial intelligence. It's an obvious, but RPA is a very interesting one, and certainly NLP as well. And NLP, it's basically natural language processing. We think there's a massive opportunity on the regulation side. In fact, I was supporting a very successful business when I was at Microsoft, who was doing some exciting things with NLP, and we believed that we can help a lot of the regulators and the banks to navigate through the complexity of regulation using technology so that they can ask natural questions and get very precise answers. We are coming from a very regulated background as well, so we understand the space. Not only we have access to lots of law firms who have experience in that field, but certainly also through our network of experts, whereby these experts joining our network will be working for the digital shares that are issued from the startups, and therefore have skin in the game and long-term interest in the business of those, in the success of those businesses. So that's really what we are trying to do, is really much align the success of everybody in one single platform. And that's how we think we can help RegTech and other companies to strive and certainly accelerate twice as fast. What they can do is they can work with the regulators and they can work through partnerships, and they can certainly make sure that they tick all the boxes, right? Regulation is really much a tick boxing exercise. So they certainly have to hire the best lawyers. They need to engage with the regulators very early in the process. We know that FCA is very, very open with the FCA Innovation Hub and with the sandbox. there's definitely lots of opportunities there. Yes, of course, there's lots of challenges going through Brexit, where we know lots of the government resources are allocated to actually deliver Brexit. We do know that there is a great opportunity in the reg space, not only in the UK but across Europe, if there is a way to harmonize our regulation. Well, events like this are obviously run by very professional people. Richard has been in this space for a very long time now, and he's got the capacity to bring the right people in the room. He's got the right messaging. He's got the right attitude towards the market as well. And I think we can only see great people around. So I think if we connect those people together and make sure that there is some business going on, then fortunately things are going to happen, and everybody's going to be successful.